Hey guys, this video is to introduce your first major assignment, Job 1, Book Jacket Design. In your modules section, you should have this available to you by the time this video becomes live. You want to read over the Job 1 overview first and foremost. Make sure that you understand the project at hand. So real quick, you will invent or redesign an existing cover for a book jacket of your choosing. For this job, you will choose a book title and design a full spread for a book jacket. You're going to create a front, back, spine, and the two end sleeves that gets folded into the actual arms of the actual book. You get to choose any style and theme of your choice, so you have that kind of creative freedom. We're going to create a template to dimensions and all artworks for your layout. This part right here, the templates and stuff, I will provide a video for demonstration on how to create these templates. That was going to be live to you next week, because right now for this week, what I want you guys to focus on is to figure out what book title you're going to do. You can reinvent, you can invent your own, or you can redesign an existing one. So as far as your research, which that's due next week, I want you guys to provide with 10 printed samples, with 10 examples for the theme and the art of your choosing. You're going to also provide a brief paragraph of those samples to help you inspire. So it's like 20 word choices and stuff. Color, as far as color goes, you are limited to spot colors only, meaning 2 PMS colors plus black. So what that means is you cannot use any CMYK values, no CMYK whatsoever. So this is only a 3-color job. If you use CMYK here, then that means that the job will now become a 4-color job. So you are going to be limited with your color palettes, but during the demonstration when I create your templates, I will also demonstrate how you can maximize those colors by changing the values in the hues, not transparencies, the values in the hues. So you will also create 15 thumbnail sketches of what your idea is for the front, spine, and the back cover. Now, I don't want to see one idea done 14 or 15 different ways. I want to see 15 unique ideas. And within these roughs, you should have all these items outlined into your planning and your conceptuals for your piece. So let's say that I want to redesign the book jacket for the movie Jurassic Park. And I say that, well, the front cover, I'm going to have the eye of the T-Rex. And on the back cover, I'm going to have the claw just ripping through the page. But what I don't want to see is that design done multiple times. For example, like your next thumbnail sketch drawings of that idea will be, well, instead of the eyeball in the front cover, the eyeball's going to be on the back cover, and the claw's going to be on the front cover. That's what I don't want to see. I will deduct points from that. I want to see unique, different ideas, please. Okay. So the design and the theme, you will be focused on typography a lot. There's going to be no Photoshop with this assignment. Everything is going to be in vector. The exception of the photo is going to be the author's photo, which I provide one for you. And that photo is going to have to be converted to a duotone. And I will have demonstrations on how you can do that. Okay. Typography, you will create outlines of all your typefaces, the major titles also, except for the sleeve copy, because I want to proofread that, and I want to make sure that your punctuations are correct. There's no spelling errors and whatnot. So do not create outlines of the sleeve copy. All right, so this is the template file. I will create a video on how you guys are going to go about this, and that will be live next week. Okay, so you're going to have to download the assets folder, which contains, I'll show you here real quick on my, so this is the assets folder. You will have a barcode, you will have an author's photo that you can choose, and you have to include a publisher's icon logo. Well, look at that, you got the barcode twice so that you don't miss it. So the publisher's icons is what needs to be included anywhere in your design. Usually the publisher's icon goes either on the spine or on the back cover. You can create Your barcode, which is the one that I provided for you in Vector, you want to copy and paste it into your document. Do not place it somewhere in the back, okay? You must have a pull quote of your book on the back cover. You can grab that from your research if it's an existing book. The front cover must contain, obviously, the title and the author's name, as well as the spine must contain the title, the author's name, and the publisher's logo. The author's photo, which is the only resolution-dependent item that you are allowed to have on this in this project, is going to go on the right side of the sleeve copy area. This is going to be fold, 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 and fold. I do have some samples to show you guys. The size of the document is going to be 18 inches wide by 8 inches tall. So, and then you're going to drop guides on a 3, 5.5, 1, 5.5, and 3-inch marks so that we can go ahead and create this video. As I can see, a video tutorial will be provided for this template next week. Okay, so what is due the following, a week from today? You're going to have to show me your samples, your 10 samples, and your 15 thumbnail sketches. And you will post that in the discussion threads here under, well, it should be right there, under the Job 1 Research and Roughs. Okay, right there. So just make sure you read through this carefully. These are the items that you must provide in order to receive full credit for this portion. Okay, and also follow along with this. You want to give you a brief demonstration of your work. You're just going to post a PDF file. You will not be posting a video. You can have the choice of posting a video if you like. That is your choice. But then you must also participate and critique at least 5 classmates and respond within a timely manner. You have until Sunday night to complete this portion of this assignment in order to receive full credit. You will create an original post by Wednesday, May 20th. You will respond with critique and questions to 2 or more classmates by Friday, May 22nd. And then you will revisit by Sunday to make sure that you answer any questions that any of your classmates are provided for you. All right, guys. So let's go back over here and go back to the, again, it'll be located in the modules section. There's a lot of this that you'll be seeing that this may have not been released to you. This will be submitted for you. I'm going to create another video tutorial, which will be located on the bottom over here under the submissions tab for creating your template. This video that you see right now will also be in here as well. I haven't published it yet, obviously. Your submissions will not be available until June 3rd, which is when the final project is due. And these are your project files, like a little shortcut to your project files, if need be. So let me show you some samples and what that looks like. So these are actual student work of what they've done. And so this particular student, take a look at their layers palette. The layers is going to make sure that you keep in mind, please, to organize your layers accordingly. Make sure that they're labeled. Don't just leave it with the default layer 1, layer 2, layer 3 name. I will deduct points for that. I like to see organizations. This is the guideline. So this is your page that is exactly 18 inches wide by 8 inches tall. And notice that this student just used 2 to 3 colors to design. The third color is used with it's creating a duotone in the author's photo. As far as the author's photo goes, if you are designing an existing book and not creating one, if you do find the actual photo of the author that generated that book, that designed that book, you are allowed to use it. Just make sure that you converted it to a duotone. And again, I will have a demonstration on that. So this one is from the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's a wonderful movie, great tale. You want to make sure that your design goes all the way across the board, because you want to take into consideration how a book might be displayed, whether it be just displayed on the front, just on the spine, when it's against the shelves, when it's up on the shelves, or if it's going to be displayed as an A-frame. So notice that this particular student created a design that's cohesive and consistent all across the board. Don't just isolate the sleeve cover, the front, the spine, the back, and so on. Use your entire real estate. Create a design that's consistent and goes all the way across your page, all the way across the spread. Okay, so that's one sample. Don't save. So this student design, let me clean up my desktop here, reset. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Let's grab my color files here. As you can see that they used a Pantone 465 and they also used a Pantone Color 130. I will demonstrate on how to access these in momentarily. So, and of course black. Guys, white technically is not considered a color. Yes, you can absolutely use it within your design, but technically the color white is known as a knockout. So if I was to print this on a green piece of paper, then you would have green text. You understand? So this is now considered a knockout. Yes, you may use the color white, but it's not technically considered a color. It's a knockout. So this is the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. And here it is in outline view mode. A student did generate and create all this elements. I believe that the text here on the pull quote is a actual font that she modified. Love the use in typography. Things to keep in mind. All right, just don't save that. So this one is Dracula. And the reason why I use this as an example is because of the wonderful way that this student did the renderings of the actual classic Dracula movie. Now, he used one single color and created shadows, midtones, and highlights by just, if I highlight this color here, so let me isolate this. So as you can see, this is only just 100% black for the heavy shadows, and for the midtones, he just used a 50% black, and for the highlights, he used 26 and 10% black. So all this is technically considered just one color. It's just different shades of black by percentages, not opacity. Guys, there is no opacities or transparencies allowed to be used in this particular assignment. You will be able to use those in future assignments, but not in this one. Okay. All right. So this student did War and Peace. Love the positive, negative play on space. And she did the healthy side here versus the War is Hell. And this is nothing more than just a brush stroke applied to her design. Let me show you what it looks like in outline view mode. Very clean, minimal amounts of anchor points. And love the way she treated the pull quote. This was set in the Civil War era, and choice of font definitely goes with the storyline. Very consistent type of layout, and here is the author. Again, 2 colors, 3 color job. Let me see. This is a beautiful piece. When the student told me the title, The Story of a Seagull and the Cat Who Taught Her How to Fly, I told her that she's going to need to play with this typography in order to fit such a long title. And she did a very successful way of doing this. She blurred out the edges by going into the effects menu and choosing blur, stylized Gaussian blur. And I told her that she cannot use transparencies. So what she did is she actually created a divide feature with using the Pathfinder palette and just lightened these a bit in percentages to give the illusion that it's all in transparencies. So this object is just a warm yellow, which is one of her choice colors, black, and yeah, so did the same treatment with the seagull. Love the perspective of the cat and how it was drawn. So she has a blue, yellow, and black. The blue and the yellow are the Pantone colors, and of course the black in different tones of the cat. So the highest is 100% black, and mid-tone she used 95%, 90%, and of course 60% to create her shadows, midtones, and highlights. Publisher's logo here, and of course the provided barcode. The only thing that I criticized on her layout, and it was a bit inconsistent, is that she did not apply the same treatment to the shadow of the seagull right here. So that was things, you got to be careful with your composition, guys. You got to make sure that you're consistent. If you apply an effect on one side, that same effect should apply on the opposite side as well. Okay. This is Spider-Man Homecoming. This is a fabulous piece. And the student actually won an Addy Award. Let me show you what it looks like in outline view mode so you can get an idea of her vector passing drawings. See? The word Spider-Man is done by an envelope distort effect. There will be a video on how to create such effects. And she just using different percentages of the Pantone colors. These are not opacities, guys. Once again, no transparencies, please. And beautiful piece. Now, even the attention to detail that she did on the web is absolutely gorgeous work. Here it is in outline view mode. Okay. Wonderful composition. Okay. All right, so this student did her piece on a TV show, I believe, or called Paper Towns. Great use in drop shadow effects, and she used the divide feature in the Pathfinder palette to cut out the windows and make it look like it's paper cutouts. Yeah. All right, this student did his on Alex Ross, which by the way happens to be one of my favorite comic book artists. And I believe this is Cloak and Dagger. And he did this perspective of this bricks. He actually drew all of this manually before even the perspective grid tool was available to us. And you can see how he treated his details on the face of Cloak and Dagger. Yep. Beautifully done. Bold choices with his colors to use a fuchsia and midnight blue tones. Wonderful. And very dynamic composition. This student did the girl with the dragon tattoo. Once she finished drawing the dragon, she said that she wanted to look like fresh ink and make it stand out a bit. So I recommended that she created like a outer glow effect, and then she added these little details to give it some highlights and make it look like it's, elevated from the skin. Have you ever seen how, you ever had a tattoo done? It looks pretty similar. And then she created these little effects here on the side and emphasized specific words in her typography. Overall, well done. And if it's, you got to visualize if the book is folded, this is where it's framed around this area here and created some padding. So overall, it's a really well done job. All right, so this student did a clockwork orange. Black, red, and yellow were her choice colors. Again, with the same stylized and effects for shadows, midtones, highlights of her Pantone color choices. In the Face of Evil, notice again, beautifully done with the army soldiers in the background and the emphasis on the front sergeant with the weapon. Just simple little details adding enough, and the eye completes the rest. You can tell that that's a weapon. You can tell that this is the guy in charge. Let me show you what it looks like in outline view mode. He just drew these characters once and then just copied them over, or he could have created a pattern. Great choice in typography, and yeah, it's a wonderful piece. This student did one about zombies, and let me show you in outline view mode. So he did a lot of little scatter brush effects. Okay. Show you the details of that. He, believe it or not, this was not live trace. The student drew every single pass his own. Okay. And used different shades of black to show depth of field, like this. Wonderful piece. Gruesome. And the last one, Percy Jackson and the Olympian, the Lightning Thief. She printed this out on a glossy cardstock, and it really stood out. My only criticize of her composition and her font choices is that since this tower here is in yellow, I thought that it probably would have looked better if the typography was also in that same color, only because when it printed out the dark black against this blue gradient, It was really hard to see. It didn't create enough contrast. The lightning could have also been in the same color tones. But other than that, I think that it was a really well done project, well done book jacket design. So let's not say that. All right, so I'm going to create a new document. I'm going to show you guys how to get into these Pantone colors by going to, you can access the Pantone colors in two different ways. You can go through the swatches palette or you can go to the Windows menu. So in the swatches palette, if you click on the drop down list and go open swatch libraries, color books, and you always want to select Pantone solid coated. You create Pantone solid coated. So here are your Pantone color matching system. I personally like to go to the drop down list and select small list view so that I can see the names of the Pantone colors. If you don't know what a Pantone color is, they are specific ink on specific media. You cannot create a Pantone color using CMYK value, but you can convert a Pantone color to CMYK. Also keep in mind that only 40% of these colors are accurately printed in CMYK mode. These are meant specifically for offset wet press or screen printing. You have to mix specific types of ink to get these things. They order them from actual sign shops, but a lot of clients don't understand that, and they expect that when they grab a Pantone book and they set their art files for that specific color, that it's going to accurately translate in CMYK form. That is not the case. It is our job to educate our clients about that. So if I go ahead and say that I want, let's say, Pantone 103 for my project, notice that as soon as I click on it, it shows up on my swatches palette. So that's going to be one of my Pantone colors, and let's say that the second choice is going to be this purple 2612. So I click on that, and there's my other color. And then, of course, white and black. So any of the other colors I want to try and remove. So that way I don't accidentally use a wrong color for my project. And let's remove all that. So your swatches should look similar to this. Only the two Pantone colors that you are using plus black. Yes, you can create gradients. So if I grab my tag tool, my rectangle tool, let's say that I'm creating a gradient. So I go into my gradient, click on gradient, double click on this, and say I want one gradient from one Pantone, double click on this, and I want it to create. This is definitely allowed. Or you can do it with black, you can do it with white, with one of these Pantone colors. Gradients are allowed in this assignment. Okay, so let's get rid of that. So yeah, post any questions if you like in the Ask the Instructor about this assignment or anything that is due the following week. Best of luck. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with in your conceptuals. And have a good day.